Good day, everyone. Today, we will discuss estimation of parameters. In this video, you will learn to differentiate point estimate and interval estimate. You will also learn to define confidence level and identify the length of the confidence interval given the sample mean and the margin of error. What is a point estimate? A point estimate is a single value of a population parameter. One of the best known point estimate is the population mean. Let's say, for example, population mean is equal to 85. Some other example of point estimate are standard deviation, variance, and proportion. Unlike a point estimate, an interval estimate is a range of values of a population parameter. It considers the margin of error, denoted as capital E, that is due to the inadequacy of a sample. In this example, our error is equal to 1. It has two parts. The lower limit, which is obtained by subtracting the margin of error to the point estimate. And it also has the upper limit, which is obtained by adding the margin of error to the point estimate. And it is expressed as an interval of population mean between 84 and 86. In interval estimate, it is very important that you know what is confidence level. Confidence level is the probability that the interval estimate contains a parameter. It describes what percentage of intervals from many different samples contains the unknown population parameter. Confidence level is used to compute for the margin of error. This is the confidence level used for Z distribution, ranging from 70% up to 99%. On research papers, what you will only see are 99%, 95%, or 90%. This confidence level corresponds to confidence coefficient, which are used in the computation of the margin of error, which will be discussed on the next video. Let's have some example on how to use the interval estimate on different situations. Example number 1, ABM exam scores. A random sample of 46 scores from the examination of ABM learners is taken and it gives a sample mean of 78, with an interval scores between 77.18 and 78.82, having a 90% level of confidence. First question, which of the following is the sample mean in the given statement? If we're going to read again the word problem, the sample mean is 78. Second question, what is the upper limit and what is the lower limit? Earlier, we defined that the upper limit is computed by adding the point estimate and the margin of error. But in this problem, it is already defined that the upper limit is 78.82. While to compute for the lower limit, we subtract the margin of error to the point estimate. In this problem, it is already stated that the lower limit is 77.80. Third question, What is the margin of error in the given statement? We can use either the upper limit or the lower limit to compute for the margin of error. Let's say we use the upper limit. Upper limit is equal to the point estimate plus the margin of error. In the problem, our upper limit is 78.82 and the point estimate or the sample mean is 78 plus the margin of error. To compute for the margin of error, we apply the addition property of equality. So we will going to transpose 78 and that gives us the value of the margin of error. And our margin of error is equal to 0.82. To confirm if the margin of error computed, we can also use the lower limit. Lower limit is equal to point estimate or the sample mean minus the margin of error. Our lower limit is 77.18 and the sample mean is equal to 78 minus the margin of error. We use addition property of equality and transpose 78. 77.18 minus 78 is equal to negative margin of error. 77.18 minus 78 is negative 0.82 equal to negative margin of error. Applying multiplication property of equality, multiplying negative 1 to the whole equation, we'll obtain margin of error is equal to 0.82. And that gives us a margin of error equal to 0.82. Let's have another example. Example number 2 about online selling. An online seller of Yema cake, which is very popular in Tayabas, Quezon, surveyed several customers. 52% of the customers were satisfied with the services that were offered with a 3.98% margin of error. Determine the confidence interval using this information. Let's answer the following questions. The average percentage of people who are satisfied with the product is 52%. The lower limit of the confidence interval is blank. To compute for the lower limit, again, we will use the point estimate, mean, minus the margin of error. In this problem, our mean is 52% and our margin of error is 3.98, which will give us our lower limit equal to 48.02. Third question, the upper limit of the confidence interval is, the formula to identify the upper limit is upper limit equal to the point estimate plus the margin of error, which is equal to 52% plus the margin of error 3.98%, which give us 55.98. Our upper limit is 55.98. Fourth question, the confidence interval is, so since we have our lower limit and the upper limit, we can now state that the confidence interval of the mean is equal to 48.02 up to 55.98. Let's now go to our last example about online learning. You're planning to buy a cell phone with a good quality in order to attend the online class. The average price of 50 cell phones is 13,500. with a margin of error of 273 pesos and 65 centavos and a confidence level of 99%. First question, what is the lower limit? Lower limit is equal to sample mean minus the margin of error. In this problem, our mean is 13,500. Minus the margin of error of 273.65, which gives us lower limit of 13,226.35. What is the upper limit? So that is obtained by adding 13,500 and the margin of error of 273.65, which gives us 13,773.65 as our upper limit. What is the confidence interval? The confidence interval utilizing the lower limit and the upper limit will be between 13,226.35 and 13,773 pesos and 65 centavos. For the follow-up question, if you have 13,100, is the amount lies within the confidence interval? So checking the confidence interval in number 3, that the mean is between 13,226 and 35 centavos and 13,773 pesos and 65 centavos, 13,100 is not within the confidence interval. So we will answer no. So I hope you've learned the lesson on estimations of parameters. To assess if you have learned the lesson in this video, you may answer the assessment part. Pause the video and capture the question. That ends the lesson for this part. Have a great day. Goodbye.